2 summers back, I took my son and my friend Javier out of town for his birthday. We'd spent the day at a water park, sunburned and tired, but happy. On the way home, we got lost. Google Maps spun us in circles, sending us down roads that didn't match reality. We ended up in Mason Hollow, a town so small the streets felt like someone's private driveway. We found a diner, the kind with faded checkered floors and a bell over the door, and ate greasy burgers while the sun dipped behind the trees. After dinner, we noticed the fair across the street. A handful of rides, some food trucks, and the low rumble of a tractor pull about to start. My son wanted to check it out. We figured, why not? It was his birthday, and the night was still young. We sat on the metal bleachers, the air thick with the smell of diesel and kettle corn. Families clustered together, kids shrieking over the engines. I noticed a few folks who'd clearly been drinking, but it felt harmless, a small town Saturday night. It was getting late, and the fair was winding down. I glanced at Javier, then at my son, and decided we'd better head out before the roads filled with folks who'd had too much to drink. We walked back to the diner, which was now dark and locked up tight. We got into my old sedan, the doors echoing shut in the quiet. I plugged in my phone, punched in directions, and we pulled away from the curb. The streets were deserted, just the faint hum of the fair behind us. As soon as we turned onto the main road, I noticed headlights behind us. Just one car, white, boxy, with tinted windows. I figured maybe they were lost too, or heading home from the fair. Still, in the pit of my stomach, something felt off. We took the shortcut, a hilly, wooded back road I remembered from before. The headlights stayed right behind us, never falling back, never passing. I slowed down, hoping they'd go around. Instead, they crept closer, pressing right up to my bumper. I tapped the brakes, just enough to send a message. The car behind didn't flinch. I sped up, then slowed again. They matched me, inch for inch. Javier muttered something about backwoods jerks, but I kept my eyes on the road, hands tight on the wheel. The trees pressed in, branches clawing at the sky. I just wanted out of those woods and onto the interstate, where the world felt bigger, safer. But the car behind us, always there, always too close, made the darkness feel endless. Finally, the on-ramp appeared. I floored it, hoping the car would just keep going, maybe take a different exit. But when I checked the mirror, their headlights followed, merging right behind us onto the empty interstate. I tried everything, slowed down, sped up, switched lanes. The car stuck to me like a shadow. My son was quiet in the back seat, clutching his phone. Javier's jaw was clenched, ready for a fight. I just wanted to keep moving, keep us safe. I got desperate and laid on the horn, the sound tearing through the quiet. For a moment it worked. The car behind us swerved onto the shoulder and killed its lights. My heart hammered, but I kept driving, eyes darting between the road and the mirror. 15 minutes passed. We started to relax, talking in low voices about how weird it all was. I thought maybe it was over, just some drunk trying to scare us. The highway was empty, the world silent except for the hum of tires. But then, out of nowhere, headlights snapped on right next to us, just behind my shoulder. He'd been following us with his lights off, tailing us in the dark for miles. I nearly lost control of the car. My hands went cold on the wheel. I felt something shift inside me, fear turning to anger. This guy had been tracking us for over an hour, playing games in the dark. I pressed the gas, determined to get away. Javier was furious, but I told him there was no way I'd ever stop for this guy. Up ahead, I spotted the taillights of a semi, bright red, a lifeline in the dark. I floored it, trying to catch up. The car beside us swerved, trying to block me, but I wouldn't let him. He jerked toward my rear panel, almost clipping us. I swerved, barely missing him. I got as close as I dared to the back of the semi, using it as a shield. The white car kept trying to cut me off, but I wouldn't let him in. I think the truck driver noticed. He started to drift, blocking the other car, then tapped his brakes. It was like he was helping. When the semi cut off the white car, I took my shot, swerved into the slow lane and floored it. 85, 90 miles an hour, the world blurring past. My hometown exit was coming up. I took it sharp, heart in my throat, and dove into a busy, well-lit gas station. There was a cop parked out front. Javier jumped out and started explaining, hands flying. The officer listened, then radioed for backup. I stayed inside, watching every white car that passed. We called a friend to follow us to a parking lot. I left my car there overnight. No way was I letting that guy spot my plates or follow us home. For weeks, I kept checking over my shoulder, flinching at every white sedan. There's one thing that still gnaws at me. Mason Hollow isn't just any small town. It's home to one of the biggest mental health asylums in the Midwest. I never saw the driver's face. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder if I was just unlucky, or if someone slipped out of that place, looking for a ride home.
I was driving home from the hospital. It was just after 2 a.m, and the world outside my windshield was frozen, silent, and empty. My mind was already halfway home, picturing the warmth of my apartment, the click of the heater, the weight of my coat sliding off my shoulders. I turned onto Maple Avenue, a street I'd driven 1,000 times. The houses here are old, with porches that sag and yards that never quite lose their snow. That's when I saw him. Someone was lying face down in the middle of the street, sprawled out across the faded, double yellow lines. I hit the brakes, heart thumping. My first instinct always was to help. I've seen people collapse from exhaustion, seizures, bad nights out. I was already reaching for my hazard lights, but then something else crept in. I'm 5 feet tall, barely 100 pounds. I was alone, in the dark, with no one around. The street was too quiet. My hands hovered over the steering wheel. I stared at the figure, trying to see if he was breathing, if anything moved. The cold seemed to press in through the glass. I didn't get out. Instead, I grabbed my phone and dialed 911, my voice shaking as I told the dispatcher there was someone lying in the road. I said I didn't feel safe stopping. I let the car roll forward, inching past him, eyes darting to the rearview mirror. I told the dispatcher I'd slowed at the end of the block. My pulse was loud in my ears.
Can you stay on the line with me? Just keep driving and tell me what you see.
I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. My knuckles were white on the steering wheel. I kept glancing back, waiting for the figure to move, to sit up, to do anything. Suddenly there was a bang, 2 heavy fists slamming into my driver's side window. The sound was so loud, so close, I screamed without thinking. He was right there, face lost in shadow, pounding on the glass and yanking at the locked handle. I could see the whites of his eyes, wild and desperate. I twisted in my seat, searching for the man who'd been in the street. He was gone. The road behind me was empty, like he'd never been there at all.
Keep driving. Don't go home yet, okay? I want you to stay on the line with me.
I pressed the gas, barely registering the red light as I sped through the intersection. My hands shook so badly, I could hardly grip the wheel.
You're doing great. Just keep driving. When you're ready, circle back, but don't stop at your address. I'll stay with you.
I tried to steady my breathing, counting each inhale. My whole body felt electric, every nerve on edge. The city felt different now, emptier, colder, like it was holding its breath. After a few blocks, I circled back toward my neighborhood, still on the phone, still watching every shadow. I parked a few houses away from mine, engine running, doors locked. The street looked empty. No movement, no headlights, just the slow drift of snowflakes in the yellow streetlight. I sat there, waiting, every muscle tight. Before I got out, I did one last scan. Side mirrors, rear view, even squinting through the frost at the passenger window. I didn't want to miss anything. That's when I saw him again. He was walking down the street with two others, three dark shapes moving together, slow and steady, like they'd been waiting for me to leave. I ducked down in my seat, barely breathing. They didn't look around, didn't talk, just walked past, boots crunching in the snow, as if nothing had happened. Once they were far enough away, I grabbed my bag and made a run for it, keys ready, feet barely touching the ground. I slipped inside my building and locked the door behind me. I stood there, back against the door, listening. My breath was loud, the apartment too quiet. I waited for footsteps, for pounding, for anything, but there was only silence. The dispatcher said police would check the area. I watched from behind the curtain, but no one was found. The street was empty again, as if the night had swallowed everything up. I sat on the floor, coat still on, staring at my own reflection in the window. My instincts had been right, but I hated how close I'd come to ignoring them. That night changed something in me. Sometimes being a helper means knowing when not to stop. Safety isn't selfish, it's survival. The highway stretched on, the sky shifting from pale blue to the bruised purple of early evening. My wife and I had been driving since morning, the mountains up ahead barely growing closer, our bodies heavy with that strange exhaustion you only get from sitting still for hours. We were both starving, and the idea of greasy fries and a booth to stretch out in sounded like paradise. My wife scrolled through her phone, looking for somewhere to eat that wasn't a gas station or a chain I'd seen 100 times. She pointed out a family restaurant in a little town up ahead. It looked cozy in the pictures, red neon sign, a few trucks in the lot. We figured it'd be a good place to take a break before the last stretch to our hotel. We plugged the address into the GPS and took the exit. The road curved off the highway, and suddenly, everything felt off. The intersection was a mess. 3 different traffic lights, lanes splitting and merging, signals blinking in ways that made no sense. I tried to follow the green arrow, but it was like the lights were designed to trick outsiders. Cars darted in from odd angles, some merging, others stopping for reds that seemed to appear out of nowhere. I hesitated, then took the turn. A horn blared from somewhere behind me, long and angry. I froze. hands tightening on the wheel. My wife looked over, her voice soft but tense.
You just cut that guy off, I think.
I mumbled an apology, more to her than to whoever was behind us. My nerves were frayed. I tried to focus on the road ahead, but the horn's echo stuck in my chest. In the rearview mirror, a massive pickup appeared. Chrome grille, lifted body, headlights glaring. It swung hard onto the road behind us, engine growling. I tried to convince myself it was a coincidence. Just another driver heading to dinner. The restaurant sat at the top of a hill, its parking lot crowded with semis and battered sedans. I pulled in, coasting toward the back, my eyes flicking to the truck in the mirror. It turned in too, slower now, like it was searching.
He's pulling in too. That's awkward. Maybe we should go somewhere else.
We circled the lot, trying to look casual. I kept to the back, out of sight, hoping the truck would just park and go inside. But when I came around to the exit, I saw him, still at the entrance, engine idling, staring straight at us. Suddenly, the truck lunged forward, cutting across the lot to face us head-on. He angled his truck so close, I could see the mud on his tires, blocking our only way out. His window rolled down. I could see his arms stretch out, tattooed, veins bulging. His voice cut through the glass, raw and furious.
"Stop your car, right now."
I yelled back. No, I wasn't stopping. My hands were shaking. I jerked the wheel, squeezing past the truck with barely an inch to spare. My heart hammered against my ribs. I sped down the hill, hoping to lose him in the traffic, but the light at the bottom was red. Cars lined up, no way out. I veered into the gas station, pulse thudding in my ears. The truck followed, turning in behind us. The lot felt too bright, too exposed. I didn't bother parking. I just kept rolling, circling the pumps, waiting for a chance to get out. I remembered something I'd read online. If someone follows you, never stop, never get out. My hands fumbled for my phone. I shot back up the hill, dialing 911 as I went. The dispatcher's voice was calm, almost soothing. I told her I was being followed, that a man in a pickup had tried to block me in. She asked for my location, told me to keep moving if I could. By the time I crested the hill again, the truck was gone. The operator stayed on the line for a while, her voice a thin thread in the dark. I kept driving, heart still racing, eyes scanning every driveway and turnoff. We found a back road behind the restaurant, a narrow lane that wound through patchy woods and empty fields. My wife squeezed my hand, her nails cold against my skin. Neither of us spoke. A few minutes later, just as we thought we were clear, I spotted the truck again, up ahead, idling at the edge of the road. I turned the car around, heart in my throat, and we doubled back, taking another route. We didn't stop again until we reached the hotel. The parking lot was empty, the neon sign buzzing. I sat in the car for a long time, watching the road, waiting for headlights that never came. I keep thinking about what might have happened if we'd gotten out of the car, if we'd let ourselves be boxed in. Did he want to scare us? Or was he waiting for something more? Sometimes I wonder if that stretch of road, that intersection, was just waiting for someone tired enough to make a mistake. I don't think we'll ever stop for dinner in a place like that again.